Baby, listen to me closely, because these words are not just sentences falling from my lips. They are fire burning in my chest, truth that refuses to stay hidden. I've tried to be calm. I've tried to be measured. I've tried to act like I could accept the silence between us without breaking. But tonight, I can't hold it in. I can't sit back and pretend that watching you go through the storms of life doesn't cut me deeper than any wound I've ever known. Baby, if they ever, and I mean ever, try to hurt you again, if they think they can touch your soul, bruise your heart, or break your light, then I swear on everything inside me, I will destroy the world they try to build around you. I will shatter every chain they attempt to place on you. I will burn down every false story they speak about you, because you are mine. Not in a way that cages you, not in a way that owns you, but in the way that my soul has recognized yours since the beginning, and nothing, no one, no power on this earth will ever convince me otherwise. Baby, I know you've been strong for too long. You've carried burdens that weren't yours to carry. You've stood in silence while others spoke against you, while they misunderstood you, while they tried to paint their version of who you are without even knowing the truth of your soul. And I hate it. I hate that I wasn't there to shield you, to take every arrow before it pierced your heart, to stand in front of you like a wall of fire that no enemy could cross. I hate that you had to sit in rooms where your name was twisted, where your love was questioned, where your silence was mistaken for weakness. Baby, you are not weak. You are the strongest soul I have ever known. But strength doesn't mean you should have had to suffer alone. It doesn't mean you deserve to carry battles that were never yours. And I promise you this, never again. Never again will I allow the world to think they can wound you and walk away unscathed. Because, baby, if they knew what it costs me every time I see pain in your eyes, they'd never dare come close again. If they knew that every tear you shed feels like acid pouring into my own veins, they'd tremble before they even thought about crossing you. I've stayed silent before. I've swallowed my words. I've walked away when I should have fought. But that version of me is gone. Do you hear me, baby? Gone. Because now, there's nothing left to lose, nothing left to protect, except the truth that I love you. I choose you, and I will defend you with a fire that doesn't care who gets burned in the process. I don't care if the whole world stands against me. I don't care if people call me obsessed, reckless, dangerous. Let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them misunderstand me the way they misunderstood you. Because when it comes to you, baby, there is no limit to what I'll break, what I'll burn, what I'll sacrifice. The day I recognized your soul as mine, the day I looked into your eyes and saw the universe folding itself into one point of eternity, I knew there was no going back. And if anyone tries to drag you into the shadows, tries to silence your laugh, tries to dim your light, then they will have to face me. The me that doesn't care about approval, about rules, about appearances. The me that will burn the whole map if that's what it takes to keep you safe. Baby, I've spent too many nights replaying the moments I wasn't there for you. The times I let fear, pride, or confusion stop me from standing where I should have stood. I can't erase the past. I can't undo the wounds you carried alone, baby, but I can promise you this with every breath I still have. The future will not look the same. The man I am now is no longer hiding behind silence, no longer pretending that my love for you can stay quiet. no longer willing to let others think they can harm you without consequence. If they ever try again, I will become the storm that makes them regret every cruel word, every careless act, every shadow they tried to cast over you. Because, baby, you are not just someone I care about. You are the pulse that keeps me alive. You are the prayer that never stopped echoing in my chest. You are the reason my spirit still fights when everything else in me wants to give up. And do you know what that means? It means anyone who lifts a hand against you, lifts it against me. Anyone who tries to dim your light will meet the fire of my love. A fire that doesn't destroy you, but destroys everything that ever thought it could break you. I can already feel it, the rage that rises not from anger, but from love so deep it refuses to watch you bleed again. Baby, I don't want revenge. I don't want war. But if the world forces it, I will choose you over peace every single time. I will choose you over comfort. I will choose you over silence. And if they ever make the mistake of touching you again, they'll learn the kind of man I become when the woman I love is threatened. Same thing. So remember this, baby. You are never alone again. Not in the darkness. Not in the fire. Not in the moments when people turn their backs. Because my heart has already sworn its vow to stand in front of you, to fight beside you, to burn down every lie spoken over you. And if the whole world forgets your worth, I will roar it loud enough to wake heaven itself. Baby, let me tell you something I've never admitted out loud, not even to myself in the quiet hours when my chest feels heavy with the weight of everything unsaid. Every time I think about what they put you through, about the careless way they tried to wound your spirit, I feel a storm rise inside me that no silence can contain. It's not anger in the shallow sense of the word. It's a fire born from love, from the part of me that cannot stand still while your soul bleeds. Baby, if anyone ever tries again, if anyone thinks they can touch the purity of your heart or twist the truth of who you are, I swear I will tear down every false wall they build around you. I will burn away every lie whispered in the corners. I will shatter every shadow that dares to hover over your name. Not because I am seeking revenge, not because I want to fight battles that don't matter, but because you matter. You are the only battle my soul was born to fight for, the only truth my chest has ever burned to defend. Do you understand what you mean to me, baby? You are not just another person in a world of passing faces. You are the one who taught me what real connection feels like. The one who walked into my silence and gave it meaning. The one who made my chest ache in ways that felt like resurrection instead of ruin. And because of that, you need to know, I will never again stand by and watch you be misunderstood, mistreated, or misused. I have done that before, baby. I confess it with tears in my throat. I stayed quiet when I should have spoken. I walked away when I should have held your hand tighter. I let my fear speak louder than my love, and those choices haunt me. They carve scars inside me that will never fully fade, but I refuse to let history repeat itself. Not now, not ever again, baby. I don't care if the world sees me as reckless for this kind of vow. Let them laugh, let them whisper, let them call me dramatic. They don't understand what it feels like to be tied soul to soul with someone who is more than just love. You are destiny. You are divine timing. You are the prayer I didn't even know I was whispering. when the universe answered me with you. And when the universe gives you something like this, you don't let it be mocked. You don't let it be bruised. You don't let it be treated like something casual or forgettable. Baby, you are unforgettable, unshakable, undeniable. You are the echo that wakes me in the night and the anchor that steadies me in storms. And because of that, I will guard you like the sacred flame you are. I have seen the way the world tries to twist gentle souls. They call your compassion weakness. They call your silence indifference. They call your forgiveness naive. But baby, I see through all of that. I know what it costs you to be soft in a world that is sharp. I know how heavy it is to keep showing love when people don't return it with the same purity. And I can't stand the thought of anyone taking advantage of that light again. If they try, I will not stay quiet. I will rise like fire through their shadows. I will rip apart the stories they spin. I will let the truth of who you are roar so loud that even the deaf will have no choice but to hear it. Baby, this is not just about protection. It's about redemption. Because I know I failed before. I know I let fear steal my voice when I should have stood beside you without wavering. And those moments haunt me not because I didn't love you, but because I loved you so much, I didn't know how to carry the weight of it. I thought I had to be perfect. I thought I had to hide my trembling hands and cracked voice when all you ever wanted was honesty. And now, I swear to you, if they ever dare again, they won't just meet me. They'll meet the version of me you awakened, the version that doesn't hide, doesn't flinch, doesn't bow to fear. They'll meet the man who would burn every chain the world tries to wrap around your spirit. And baby, do you know what I realized? It's not even about them. It's about me finally being the man who shows up for you without hesitation. The man who doesn't just whisper in the dark but speaks boldly in the light. The man who doesn't just hold love in silence but guards it with action. Because you deserve that. You deserve to know that if life ever tries to crush you again, I will be there, breaking every stone they throw, turning every arrow into ash before it ever touches your skin. You deserve a love that doesn't just stay quiet but roars like thunder when it's time to protect. And baby, that's the vow of my heart. You will never fight alone again. Baby, do you know what scares me the most? It's not the thought of losing you to distance, not the silence that stretches between our worlds, not even the pain of wondering if you still think of me when the night feels long. No, baby, what terrifies me is the thought of you ever feeling unprotected again, of you standing in a storm with no one at your side, of you being treated like you were fragile when in truth, you are the fiercest soul I've ever known. Because if the world ever tries to put you back in that place of isolation, I will rise like a storm they will never forget. I will not raise weapons, I will not raise my fists, but I will raise truth so loud it will crush their lies before they even take root. I will raise fire so bright it will melt the cages they tried to build. I will raise love so relentless it will undo every shadow they thought could hide you. Do you hear me, baby? This isn't empty talk. This is the vow that burns in my chest every day I wake up, without your presence next to me. The vow that thunders through me whenever I replay the moments I should have fought harder, spoken louder, stood stronger. I can't rewrite the past, but I can etch the future with the promise that never again will you face the world without the shield of my devotion. If they ever try to twist your name, I will break every word they use like glass shattering on stone. If they ever try to trap you in their small-minded judgments, I will burn their illusions until the only thing left is the radiance of who you truly are. If they ever try to make you doubt your worth, I will roar your truth so loud that even the heavens will echo it back until you remember you are sacred, you are chosen, you are untouchable. Baby, I think about the nights when you cried alone, the times when you had to pick up your own pieces, when you smiled in public but broke in silence, and those memories pierce me like blades. I'll never forgive myself for ignoring, because I should have been there. I should have been the one to wipe those tears, to hold your shaking hands, to tell you that no matter what the world throws, you would never stand alone. That failure burns in me, baby, but I refuse to let it be the final truth. The final truth is this: from this moment forward, anyone who thinks they can lay a hand on your spirit will have to face the fire of mine. Not out of hate, not out of vengeance, but out of a love so fierce it will not bow to darkness. And baby, do you know what keeps me alive through the silence? The vision of us finally standing together, not in hiding, not in fear, but in truth. I imagine looking you in the eyes and telling you that every chain has been broken, every lie has been silenced, every shadow has been burned away. I imagine your laughter rising again, unbothered, unbroken, free. That picture of you, healed, whole, fearless, is the reason I fight battles no one even sees. It is the reason I burn through nights that feel endless. It is the reason I choose to keep breathing when despair tells me to stop. Baby, you are not just my love. You are my reason, my redemption, my revelation. And because of that, I will guard you with everything I am. And so let the world whisper, let them doubt, let them test me if they dare. Because this time, baby, I am not silent. This time I am not hiding. This time my vow was carved into eternity. If they ever try to hurt you again, I will dismantle their lies. I will tear apart their false stories. I will burn away their shadows until nothing remains but the truth of us. And that truth is unbreakable, unstoppable, undeniable. That truth is you, my baby, my forever. The one soul I will defend until my last breath. Baby, I need you to understand something that has been tearing at me for years. The silence I carried was never indifference. It was fear. The distance was never rejection. It was my weakness pretending to be strength. And every time I stayed quiet while you endured the sharpness of others, every time I pretended not to see the storms breaking over you, I betrayed not just you, I betrayed myself, the man I was meant to be. I have lived with that weight, baby, and it has reshaped me, because when I think about you standing there, facing shadows that should have been mine to fight, my heart doesn't just ache, it erupts. It tells me, never again. And that vow has carved itself deeper than bone. If anyone, anywhere, ever tries to lay even one more shadow on your path, I will rip through it like thunder splitting the night sky. I will not let them put you in darkness, not while I still draw breath. You are not just my baby. You are the mirror of my soul, the reason I even know what love feels like beyond flesh, beyond touch, beyond time. And when you love someone on that level, you do not stand by as they are hurt. You do not sit in silence while their name is twisted. You do not smile politely while their light is dimmed. No, baby. You rise, you roar, you defend, and that is what I will do for you. Not because I want the world to see me as strong, not because I want to prove anything, but because I cannot breathe, knowing that you might carry wounds alone. Ever again. Baby, I imagine the day we stand side by side again. The day I can finally look at you without the distance, without the unspoken ache, without the fear that has ruled me for too long. And when that day comes, I want you to see it in my eyes. The man who once faltered has now become the man who would set fire to every falsehood, break every chain, and guard your name like a holy scripture. Because you are not ordinary. You are not casual. You are not replaceable. You are the sacred story that rewrote me, the eternal echo that made me believe in destiny. And because of that, if the world ever tries again to wound you, they will not find you defenseless. They will find me standing like a wall of fire, speaking like a storm, protecting like a vow sworn in heaven. If looks swore enough, Entren, haste forward. It then is. Do you know what the world doesn't understand, baby? They think love is fragile. They think it's just words, just feelings, just fleeting emotions that can be replaced when things get hard. But our love, what I feel for you, is not fragile. It is fierce. It is not something that breaks when pressure comes. It is something that grows sharper, stronger, more relentless. That's why I know, even in the silence, even in the distance, even when they tried to convince you that you were alone, my energy was still fighting for you. And now, I'm done being invisible about it. If they try again, the world itself will hear my roar, not of violence, not of destruction, but of a love so unyielding it dismantles every scheme, every lie, every shadow that ever dares to touch you. Baby, I don't want you to ever forget this. You are worth fighting for, not just in secret, not just in silence, not just in memories. You are worth fighting for in the open, worth defending in the light, worth declaring in front of anyone who thinks they can diminish you. And I will be the one to do it, because I know what it feels like to lose you once. I know the emptiness that comes from letting fear win, and I swear I will not let that happen again. You are too precious. You are too sacred. You are too eternally mine in the places that truly matter. And baby, if they ever try again, may heaven and earth remember this vow. I will break every shadow before it even touches you. Baby, I've carried this vow in my chest like a secret flame, and tonight it refuses to stay hidden. Do you know what it feels like to live every day with the memory of moments where I should have stood stronger for you? It's like walking through fire with no way out, because every time I remember the look in your eyes, the quiet ache, the unspoken plea for someone to simply see you, defend you, hold you up, I realize how often I stayed silent. That silence has haunted me more than anything else in my life. And baby, if I could turn back time, I would rewrite those chapters with hands that never trembled and a voice that never broke. But since I can't, I will do what I can. I will turn the future into a battlefield where every shadow that dares approach you is torn apart before it reaches your heart, because you are not meant to walk through this world carrying wounds alone. You are not meant to fight your battles with no one beside you. And baby, I don't care if the whole world thinks I'm too much, too intense, too reckless with my words. Let them misunderstand me. Let them twist my fire into something they cannot comprehend. Because what they will never take from me is this vow: you will never be undefended again. If they try to shatter your peace, I will shatter their lies. If they try to chain your spirit, I will tear those chains apart with my bare hands of truth. If they try to dim your light, I will become the fire that blinds their shadows. Not out of revenge, not out of rage, but because my love for you is sacred, and sacred things deserve protection. Baby, I've watched the way you keep giving, even when the world takes. I've watched the way you keep loving, even when your heart is bruised. I've watched the way you keep standing, even when your knees should have buckled from the weight of it all. And it makes me ache. It makes me furious that anyone could mistake that kind of strength for weakness. Because I know the truth. You are the bravest soul I've ever known. You are the fire that burns silently while everyone else is chasing noise. You are the one who carries grace into places that don't deserve it. And if they ever try again to make you feel less, to make you doubt yourself, to make you question the worth of your love, I will roar louder than every doubt until your spirit remembers it was never fragile, never small, never anything but divine. Baby, I know the world thinks men prove love through possessions, through promises of comfort, through shiny things that fade with time. But the only proof I ever want to give you is this: my love defends. My love does not watch silently while you bleed. My love does not disappear when storms come. My love stands between you and every shadow and says, not this time, not her, not ever again. That is the language of my devotion, the only one that matters. And if the whole world wants to test it, let them. Because for you, I will always rise. For you, I will always roar. For you, baby, I will always tear down everything that tries to keep us from the light. And do you know what I realized? The real destruction is not of people, but of illusions. The real fire burns lies, not flesh. The real storm breaks chains, not souls. And if I am to destroy anything for you, it will be the cages the world tries to put you in. It will be the false stories told about your heart. It will be the silence that once made you believe you were alone. All of that will fall before the love I carry for you. A love that doesn't fade, doesn't waver, doesn't surrender. And baby, I will never again let you wonder where I stand. I stand here, with you, for you, always. Baby, there are nights when I sit in the dark and let every memory of you wash over me. Like waves I can't stop, even if I tried. And in those hours, something happens inside my chest. A storm that doesn't roar outward, but a fire that burns inward. A fire that whispers the same vow over and over again. Never again will you be left undefended. Never again will the world mistake your silence for weakness, your gentleness for fragility, your patience for permission to wound you. Baby, if they ever try again, and I mean if the universe dares to test me once more by letting shadows come for you, I will not stand back. I will not swallow my voice. I will not carry regret like I did before. No, this time I will rise like a wall of fire, like a storm of truth, like a shield carved from love itself. And every falsehood, every chain, every darkness that tries to touch you will collapse in front of the force of what I carry for you. Because baby, love is not just sweet words whispered in quiet rooms. Real love is not just promises scribbled in journals or prayers spoken in silence. Real love is action. Real love is defense. Real love is standing in front of the one your soul recognizes and saying, if the world comes for you, it will have to pass through me first. That is the love I owe you. That is the love I failed to give before. That is the love I will not fail to give again. And if they try, if they so much as attempt to bruise your spirit, I will break every illusion they use to attack you. I will burn down the stage they stand on. I will silence every shadow that whispers your name without reverence, not through violence, baby, but through fire. Fire of truth, fire of devotion, fire of a soul that refuses to watch the one it loves bleed again. Baby, sometimes I wonder if you even know the way I see you, the way I carry you like scripture inside me, the way your laughter, even when I only hear it in memory, rebuilds broken parts of me I thought would never be whole again. The way your silence speaks louder than any words the world could ever offer me. And because of that, I know this with certainty. The world may not understand you, but I do. The world may try to twist you, but I won't let them. The world may try to bruise you, but every bruise will meet my fire until it turns to ash. Baby, you will never again wonder if anyone will stand up for you, because my vow is carved into eternity. I will, always, do. And it's not just about defense, baby. It's about honor. Because you deserve to be honored, not questioned. You deserve to be cherished, not doubted. You deserve to be protected, not picked apart by those too blind to see the brilliance of your soul. You are not just someone I love. You are the sacred thing I will never let be mocked. You are the holy ground I will never let be trampled. You are the fire I will guard until my last breath. And baby, I know this world has been cruel to you. I know people have taken your softness and used it against you. I know they've mistaken your forgiveness for permission. But never again. Not while I'm here. Not while I still have a voice, still have hands, still have a soul tethered to yours. If they try again, they will see the part of me that no one else has ever seen. The part that does not bow, does not break, does not hesitate. The part that defends you like defending my own heartbeat. Baby, I replay our story in my mind. And there are chapters that still make me ache. The times I should have spoken up, but stayed quiet. The moments I should have stood taller, but shrank in fear. The nights I should have held you through the storm, but let you walk through it alone. And every one of those failures has burned me into someone new, into someone who will never again let you carry a burden alone, into someone who knows that love is not proven by what you feel, but by what you protect, into someone who understands that when you carry a soul like yours in your chest, you don't just love them, you guard them like treasure, you fight for them like destiny, you honor them like the only sacred thing you'll ever know. Baby, if they try again, they will not meet the man who once stayed silent. They will meet the fire you awakened in me. They will meet the storm that refuses to back down. They will meet a love so fierce it shakes the ground beneath their shadows. Because you are worth that. You are worth the roar, worth the fire, worth the defense. And if I have to spend the rest of my life proving it, then that's what I'll do. Because I'd rather burn the whole world of lies than let you shed one more tear in silence. Baby, I don't think you truly understand how much you live inside my chest. People see me, they think they know me. They think they can measure the depth of who I am by the words I say or the steps I take in front of them, but none of them know the secret. You are the invisible thread stitched through everything I do, the echo in my silence, the reason my voice trembles when I talk about love. And baby, it is because of that truth that I will never again allow the world to treat you like you are anything less than sacred. If they try, if they dare to wound you, mock you, twist your light into something small, then I will rise like a storm that does not bow, a fire that does not fade, a shield that does not break. Because this isn't just about defending you from the world. It's about honoring the divine in you. Baby, your spirit is not ordinary. Your presence is not casual. You are the kind of soul that shifts atmospheres, that unsettles shadows, that reveals truth in places where lies thought they would reign forever. And when a soul like yours walks the earth, opposition will come. Envy, misunderstanding, cruelty from people too blind to see what stands before them. I cannot stop the world from being cruel, but I can vow this. You will never face that cruelty alone again. I will burn down every chain they try to place on you. I will tear through every whisper that tries to weaken you. I will silence every shadow with the roar of my love. Not because I seek war, but because my heart refuses to let you fight battles in silence ever again. Baby, I remember the times I failed you, the nights when you cried alone while I stayed silent, pretending I didn't feel the quake of your spirit through the distance. The mornings when you carried yourself with a smile while your heart was breaking, and I looked away because I didn't know how to handle the weight of what I felt for you. I hate those memories. I hate them because they remind me of the man I was, afraid, unsure, too small to stand in the fullness of what you awakened in me. But that man is gone, burned in the fire of regret, reshaped by the ache of loving you and losing the chance to prove it when it mattered most. And the man who stands now, he is not afraid to roar. He is not afraid to break walls. He is not afraid to be misunderstood if it means you are never left unprotected again. Baby, love like ours was never meant to be quiet. It was never meant to be hidden in corners or whispered only in dreams. It was meant to roar. It was meant to stand tall, even in storms. It was meant to carry a vow so unshakable that nothing, not time, not distance, not enemies, not shadows, could undo it. And that's the vow I make again tonight. If they try again, if they even attempt to bruise your soul, they will find themselves face to face with a man who no longer hides, who no longer runs, who no longer pretends. That silence is safer than truth. They will face a love that dismantles illusions, that burns lies, that tears chains, until all that remains is the radiance of who you truly are. Baby, when I think about what you've endured, I feel something ancient stir in me, a kind of protection that feels older than my own name, older than the bones in my body, older than time itself. It feels like my soul has always been guarding you, lifetime after lifetime, refusing to let the world consume you. Maybe that's why I ache so deeply when I remember your pain. Maybe that's why I cannot sleep when I know you are hurting. Maybe that's why every vow I make feels like more than a promise. It feels like destiny, reclaiming what was always true. You are mine, not in possession, but in recognition. And because of that recognition, I will never again let you stand in front of shadows without me beside you, roaring truth until every darkness flees. Baby, I know the world doesn't understand what it means to love like this. They think love is flowers, pretty words, fleeting passion, but our love is not fragile like that. Our love is war and peace all at once. Our love is fire and water colliding in a way that should destroy, but instead create something eternal. And because of that, if they try again, they will learn quickly that we are not like others. They will learn that we are not broken easily. They will learn that we are defended by something greater than appearances. We are defended by destiny itself. And I will stand in that destiny like a soldier who does not retreat, like a guardian who does not sleep, like a man who has finally found the one thing worth burning everything else for. Baby, sometimes I replay the image of you standing in silence, holding your pain inside, carrying yourself with grace even when no one deserved it, and it breaks me, because I should have been there. I should have been the one to take those blows, to silence those lies, to shield you from every careless hand and cruel tongue. And because I wasn't, because I failed then, I have made this vow unshakable now. Never again will you wonder if someone will stand for you. Never again will you face storms alone. Never again will you question if my love is strong enough to defend. Baby, it is. It always was. And now it is louder than ever. Do you know what I see when I look at you, baby? I see the woman who carried me without even realizing it. The woman who held my silence like it was language. The woman who loved me in ways I didn't know how to receive, but that still carved me into someone better. You are my redemption. You are my revelation. You are my reason. And because of that, if they try to diminish you, they are not just touching you. They are touching the very soul of who I am. And my soul will not let them. My soul will rise like thunder until every falsehood breaks, every shadow runs, every chain falls. Because you are worth that. You have always been worth that. Baby, I wonder sometimes if you still doubt me, if you still question whether I ever felt as much as you did. And I don't blame you. My silence left scars. My absence left questions. But let this vow answer what my actions once failed to prove. I love you in a way that will never let harm go unanswered again. I love you in a way that will dismantle every cage they tried to build around you. I love you in a way that will roar your truth even when the world wants to silence it. And if they try again, I will not hesitate. I will not falter. I will not retreat. I will burn through every obstacle until the only thing left is the undeniable reality of us. Baby, the world has no idea how much I've carried you inside me. They see me walking, breathing, working, smiling, but they don't see the vow beating beneath my ribs, the fire that whispers your name with every breath. They don't see how many nights I've stayed awake, haunted by the thought of you fighting battles alone. They don't see the way my chest aches when I remember the moments I should have been there but wasn't. When I should have been. But baby, you need to know. Every one of those regrets has built me into a man who will never again stand silent. If they try to wound you again, if they so much as think they can bruise your light, they will find themselves crushed beneath the roar of my truth, because I will not allow the world to diminish the one soul who gave me meaning. Baby, you are not just the love of my life, you are the proof that love is real. Before you, I thought love was performance, obligation, routine, but you shattered that illusion. You walked into my life like a storm wrapped in silk, and suddenly I was awake to the possibility that love could be sacred, that connection could be eternal, that someone could see me in ways I didn't even see myself. And because of that, you will never again be left unprotected, because if they try, they are not just testing you, they are testing destiny itself. And destiny has already decided you are untouchable, you are divine, you are the one my soul refuses to let the world bruise again. I remember, baby, the softness in your voice when you tried to explain your heart, the patience in your silence when I struggled to respond, the fire in your eyes when you believed in something bigger than both of us. Those moments live in me like scripture, and they remind me daily that you are not ordinary, you are not replaceable, you are not someone the world can treat casually. And that's why this vow burns so loud in me, because anyone who tries again will find themselves facing a love that has no ceiling, no walls, no limits, a love that will burn every shadow, tear every chain, silence every lie, until all that remains is the truth of who you are. Baby, I know you've been misunderstood. I know people have called you things you are not. I know they've tried to turn your silence into weakness, your forgiveness into foolishness, your depth into complication. But I see the truth. I know your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. I know your forgiveness is not foolishness, it is courage. I know your depth is not complication, it is divinity. And if anyone tries again to twist your truth, they will not get away with it. It will rise like fire to expose them. I will roar like thunder until their lives crumble. I will shield you until your heart remembers that you were never meant to fight alone. Do you know what love has taught me, baby? It's not about pretty words or fleeting passion. It's about who shows up when storms rage. It's about who fights when the world turns cruel. It's about who refuses to let you carry pain alone. And that is the love I now carry for you. Not a fragile love that hides in silence, but a fierce love that defends, that stands, that roars. A love that will dismantle anything that tries to harm you. You know what that is? And baby, if they try again, I will not hesitate. I will not tremble. I will not hold back. I will fight with everything I am, because to protect you is to protect the part of me that still believes in destiny. Baby, sometimes I imagine us years from now, sitting together in the quiet, and you finally look at me with eyes that no longer question whether I would fight for you. And in that moment, I tell you everything. How I regret every silence. How I replayed every missed chance. How I let fear steal the words I should have spoken. And then I tell you what I know now. That love is not real unless it defends. That devotion is not true unless it shields. That destiny is not fulfilled unless it honors. And you smile, not because the past was erased, but because the future has been redeemed. That vision is what keeps me alive, baby. That vision is what makes me vow again and again, if they try, if they dare, I will dismantle every shadow until all that's left is us. Baby, I need you to know your worth is not up for debate. Not to me, not to destiny, not to heaven. The world can try to question you, but I will answer every question with truth. The world can try to diminish you, but I will raise you higher than their lies can reach. The world can try to chain you, but I will break every lock until you are free again. Because you are not just my baby, you are the reason my soul still fights. You are the fire that keeps me breathing. You are the sacred thing I will never stop guarding. And if they try again, they will not just face me, they will face the love of a man who has already decided that you are untouchable. Baby, let me confess something. For years, I thought strength was silence. I thought power was endurance. I thought love meant letting people handle their pain alone. But you have taught me differently. You showed me that real strength is standing beside someone even when it costs you everything. You showed me that real power is speaking truth even when fear tells you to stay quiet. You showed me that real love is defending, protecting, honoring the one your soul recognizes. And because of that, I can never go back to being the man I was before. The man who let fear steal his voice. The man who watched you hurt and said nothing. That man is gone. And the man who stands now is ready. Ready to break every shadow. Ready to burn every lie. Ready to guard you like the most sacred vow of my life. Baby, the man I am now is not afraid of intensity. Not afraid of devotion that shakes the ground beneath my feet. Not afraid of standing in the light and letting the world know exactly where I belong. With you. Because when my soul recognized yours, something eternal was awakened in me. Something that cannot be silenced again. I used to think love was just about feeling, but you showed me it's about fighting. It's about defending. It's about honoring the bond heaven carved into us long before we understood it. And baby, I promise you this, I will not let shadows creep in between us again. I will not let fear speak louder than my truth. I will not let the world bruise you without standing in front of you as your shield. My devotion is no longer hidden, no longer trembling, no longer unsure. It is fire. It is thunder. It is the vow of a man who has already lost too much by staying silent once. Baby, you deserve a love that roars when the world whispers against you. A love that stands tall when others shrink. A love that defends you as fiercely as it cherishes you. And that is the love I am here to give. I will not only hold your softness in my hands like a treasure, I will guard it like a warrior sworn to a holy oath. Because you are not just my baby. You are the divine echo that keeps me alive. The proof that I was made for something bigger than survival. The reason my soul can no longer accept half-truths or half-love. If they ever try again, they will not find you alone. They will not find you unprotected. They will find me standing like a storm that refuses to bow, a fire that refuses to fade, a man who finally knows his purpose, to love you, to guard you, to honor you as the most sacred vow of his life. Baby, I need you to hear me without doubt, without question, without hesitation. My love is not passive anymore. My silence is not your burden anymore. My absence will never again be the weight you carry in the dark. If they try again, if life dares to send more storms toward you, I will stand like a wall of fire. I will defend not with fists, but with truth. I will destroy not with violence, but with light so bright that every shadow flees. Because what they never understood is that protecting you is protecting the only sacred thing I've ever known. Baby, you have always been the one who saw me when the world only saw pieces. You have always been the one who heard me when I didn't even know how to speak. You have always been the one who gave me grace when I only deserved silence. And because of that, I will honor you until my last breath. I will not let anyone twist your name again. I will not let anyone diminish your heart again. I will not let anyone treat you like you are less than the miracle you are. If they try, my roar will shake them. My truth will expose them. My fire will undo every chain they thought they could wrap around you. And baby, I want you to know, this isn't just about protection. It's about redemption. It's about me finally becoming the man you always believed I could be. The man who doesn't shrink back in fear. The man who doesn't let silence replace love. The man who doesn't watch you cry alone while pretending it doesn't shatter him. No, baby, I will never again pretend. If you ache, I ache. If you bleed, I bleed. If you fight, I fight. And if the world tries to make you feel small, I will remind you with every breath that you are infinite. Baby, I imagine the day when we are no longer separated by silence or distance. The day when I can finally hold your hands and say all of this, not through a screen, not through whispers in the night, but face to face. On that day, I will look into your eyes and tell you everything. That you were never weak. That you were never forgotten. That you were never alone. That every storm you faced in silence was felt by me too. And that from this moment forward, you will never again face them without me. That is my vow, baby. That is my forever. And now, for everyone who listens to this message, for every soul who feels these words echo in their chest, I need you to pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do you feel it? Do you feel the truth that real love defends, real love honors, real love refuses to let you fight alone? If you do, then these words were meant for you. This message was not just a story. It was a confession, a vow, a sacred promise. Baby, before I let this message rest, I want to speak a blessing, not just for you, but for every heart listening who feels this fire burning inside their chest. May you never again walk through storms feeling unprotected. May every lie spoken against you fall to the ground powerless. May every chain wrapped around you shatter before your spirit. May you feel the fire of truth defending you in every silent battle, the roar of love lifting you when you feel unseen, the shield of destiny guarding you when the world tries to break you. And baby, if you feel this truth, if your heart slowed as you listened, if your spirit whispered, "This was for me," then don't let it pass quietly. Write it in the comments, "I am never alone again." Let heaven and earth see your declaration. Let the universe echo your vow. If this message touched your soul, share it with someone you love. Let the fire spread. Let the truth travel. Because love like this doesn't just sit quietly in one chest. It was meant to awaken others, to remind others, to defend others. And baby, before we close, let me say thank you to everyone who has been standing with this channel, to those who pour into it with their presence, their time, their support. You are part of this fire too. For those who send super thanks, know that I see you, I honor you, I pray blessings over you. For those who type your hearts into the comments, know that your voice matters, your energy matters, your faith matters. You are part of this story now. So stay with me. Stay listening. Stay open. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of love defended, truth spoken, chains broken. And baby, my baby, if they ever try again, they will find themselves facing not just me, but the eternal love that has already decided you are untouchable.